What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer, and I'm basically doing a podcast today for the most part. I mean, it's gonna be a pretty long video. I'm gonna go card by card in the Phantom Rage set that comes out like I think 2 weeks from now, and I'll give my opinion on them and everything like that. And at the end, I'll just like the other videos I've done about this, I'll say whether or not I think you should buy it. But I've thought about putting stuff up like this, like on a podcasting network. And there is a Blue Milk Boys podcast, but we obviously did a lot of Star Wars stuff on there, so I'd have to get with Kevin. But if you're interested in that, I'm not really interested in starting a whole new podcasting stuff. So I think if there's enough interest from you guys, I'll probably just post it on the Blue Milk Boys podcasting stuff, and that way you can, like, I don't know, listen, like anytime there's new sets that come out, I'll do videos like this. Then you guys could listen to them in your car or something. I do that a lot. But anyways, we'll just get right into it. First card off here is Tri-Brigade Standoff. It's a continuous spell. I don't know. I think there's a lot of potential for Tri-Brigades, but I just haven't seen anything that's been too impressive yet. But we'll see what happens here. So it's a continuous spell. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monsters. Okay. You can send one monster from your hand or field to the graveyard. Add one Tri-Brigade monster from your deck to your hand with a different original type than the monster sent to the graveyard. You can only use the effects of Tri-Brigade Standoff once per turn. If this card in its owner's spell and trap zone is destroyed by opponent's card effect, you can activate this effect. Your opponent cannot declare an attack this turn. Really random effect, but I guess cool. I feel like you could literally just make the card with the first part, but yeah, why not? I'm assuming all the Tri-Brigades are different types then, but like I'm assuming some of them are Beast, some of them are Beast Warrior, and some are Winged Beast, which I guess is cool. It's a little restricted, but I guess not too much. I mean, all those seem like the same archetype anyways, so it's kind of cool that they're brought together in a sense here. It's any discard, right? Now you have to send one monster. Oh, and it has to be a different... Ooh, I don't know. That's okay. If it's searchable mid-combo, like Raider's Wing, I guess. But it's like a worse Raider's Wing. Like, by far. I don't know about that one. Actually, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go by rarity. So, yeah, that's fine. So, that was a comment. This is another comment. And actually, I just realized today that the Mutant archetype is in Phantom Rage. Like, that was a really late addition. But I know everyone's hyped about it, so I guess they're really trying to push sales here at the end. But in any case, we'll go through the cards, obviously, too. The normal trap, Mutant Cry. During the main phase, fusion summon one mutant fusion monster from your extra deck by shuffling the fusion materials listed into the deck from among the cards in your field, graveyard, or your face-up banished cards. You can only activate one Mutant Cry per turn. So that sounds really good, and I know it's searchable, so it's not really something you have to, like, draw and hope it works out for you, so you can get your place set up turn one, which is pretty nice. So that would be great. Better obviously as a quick play spell, but you could say that about every trap card. So that'll definitely be in the deck for sure. Maybe like a 1, depending on how well you're able to combo off. Oh, why is it doing this to me? Maybe I won't be able to do that, but this is the new Phantom Knights card that I think is like really good and that people are talking about. So it's the Phantom Knights of Stained Greaves. This is a warrior effect monster. It says if a Phantom Knights monster is special summoned to your field except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand, then you can increase the level of this card by 1. And it's a level 3, so like everything would be level 4, which is pretty good. You can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon one Phantom Knights monster from your hand, except Phantom Knights of Stained Greaves, so it's itself. Then you can increase its level by 1. Interesting. Okay, so I think this is one of the cards that's trying to bridge the gap between Raid Raptors and Phantom Knights, but obviously it's pretty good in Phantom Knights. Although I'm trying to think. Well, yeah, we'll see when deck profiles start coming. I'm sure this will be a pretty common card. It's an extender like by itself and in the graveyard, which is really cool. So that's a good one. I guess it's good. It's a common. Ooh, this is great. So this is right after Heal. If all the monsters you control are Raid Raptor monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. It's only unfortunate this card doesn't count as Phantom Knights 2, because that would really, really help the consistency So I think you're supposed to play them together now, I guess, but there's no way. I tried it, and I just don't understand. Maybe someone will figure it out, but it won't be me. But it's a free special summon as long as you control all Raid Raptor monsters, which is very easy. And then you can banish a target one Raid Raptor spell or trap in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Pretty cool. It's a great extender. I think I run it at 2 so far, so I'm glad this is a common. And this is one of the Tri-Brigade monsters. It's Nerval. It's common, which is good. You can banish any number of Beast, Beast Warrior, and or Winged Beast monsters in your graveyard. Special summon one Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast Link monster from your extra deck with a link rating equal to the number banished. Also, you can only use Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monsters as link material for the rest of the turn, which is fine. Everything in the archetype restricts it, which I guess is good. But if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one Tri-Brigade monster from your deck to your hand, except Tri-Brigade Nerval. You can only use each of the effect of Tri-Brigade Nerval once per turn. This is a great 1-for-1 target, obviously. And even if you have 1-for-1 and this card in your hand and you're running multiple copies, you could technically pitch it. And that would add a monster and then special summon this, which is good. Yeah, I would definitely say this is going to be in a lot of Tri-Brigade decks. And I'm trying to think with it now. I can't even think of it, but Dad Escape is what it is, his original name, and I think it's so much better than Virtual World, but that can be a discussion for another time. So this is Virtual World Xia Ji GG. If this card is in your hand, you can target one Virtual World card you control, send one Virtual World card of a different type, which is kind of how all of them work, from your deck to your hand. If you do special summon this card, then during the end phase of this turn, you can add one Virtual World monster from your graveyard to your hand. Except itself. For the rest of the turn, you can only special summon rank 3 or level 3 or higher monsters, which is definitely not too restrictive at all. You can only use this effect of Virtual World Xia Ji GG once per turn. I mean, all of them pretty much have the free special summon effect, which is really good. This deck just really struggles, with keeping hand size. You burn all your resources in one turn, and some of them aren't even that explosive. It's okay, but a lot of these, when they hit the graveyard, they need to search another or something like that, or at least search another copy of itself, and that way you keep using the effect. I don't know. I mean, I guess that would be too overpowered, but they got to figure something out. Maybe I think there's Raid Raptors. If you control 2 or more, you can add one to your hand, something like that. But still, I mean, it's. I feel like it's worth picking up because it could, I could see it getting good. So, yeah, we'll keep going with that one. This is Virtual World Lily. This card's in your hand. You can target a virtual card, send a different type to your graveyard, and special summon this card. So when this card is special summoned, you can send one Virtual World card of a third type to the graveyard. So this is the Gazelle, basically. Which is great because this will always be a staple in this deck no matter what happens to it. For the rest of this turn, you can only special summon rank 3, blah blah blah, restriction. So this is a really good one, Virtual World Lily. Definitely a card that would pick up if you're interested in Virtual Worlds for the long term. You never know if it does get good. People will buy out these cards like crazy. This is Infernity Conjurer. This is a common effect monster. While you have no cards in your hand, which is the whole gimmick of Infernity, monsters your opponent controls lose 800 attack. While you have no cards in your hand and this card's in your graveyard, you can special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. Well, that's good. And I think they have synchros in Infernity. I've never played, and I think I'm eventually going to. Someone in the comments had also asked if I could check it out, and I think I will someday. So I guess we'll see if this support really does matter. This seems okay right now. I mean, special summoning is always good, but the other effect is so not great. So this is Infernity Wildcat. This is a tuner. You can special summon this card from your hand by sending one other Infernity monster from your hand to the graveyard. So technically, you could pitch the one I just said, special summon this card, and that would special summon itself, which, okay, I guess that's pretty good. You can only special summon Infernity Wildcat once per turn this way. While you have no cards in your hand, you can banish one Infernity monster from your graveyard to increase or decrease the level of this card by 1 until the end of the turn. You can only use this effect of Infernity Wildcat once per turn. So I guess synchro summoning is like really important in this deck. I didn't know that. Interesting. Okay. I mean, that's pretty good. It keeps it flexible when it's a free special summon. Interesting indeed. Next we have UA Libero Spiker. Sure. This is a level 4 Earth Warrior effect monster. You can special summon this card from your hand by returning one UA monster you control to the hand, except itself. You can only special summon one this card's name once per turn this way. Okay, geez. During your opponent's main phase quick effect, you can shuffle one level 5 or higher UA monster from your hand into the deck, and if you do, special summon one UA monster from your deck with a different name, then return this card to the hand. So that, I know the gimmick is to bounce and stuff like that. I guess I don't know enough about UAs, but I would assume that there's different quick effects that are good, and this basically gives you access to every single UA monster in your deck, because you can search anything. So yeah, I'm guessing that's a good thing. That seems good. Okay, this is UA Player Manager. This is a common effect monster as well, same thing. If you normal summon or special summon a UA monster, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. It's a level 8, so it's a free special summon. If this card is special summon, you can activate one of these effects. Target one card on the field, destroy it. Negate the effects of all face-up monsters on the field until the end of this turn, except UA monsters. You can use the effect of UA Player Manager once per turn. So I'm assuming this is an obvious 3. This sounds really good. You just have to normal special summon a UA monster, which is like easy from what I understand. And then you can either target a card or negate the effects of all face-up monsters. It's obviously like it can be like negated and stuff, but it's a good threat. This is Awakening of the Possessed Gigabyte. I've not heard of this card. Okay, interesting. We'll see what it says. This is a water reptile effect level 5 monster. Okay. You can special summon this card from your hand or deck. Oh lord, okay. What? By sending one face-up spellcaster monster and one face-up level 4 lower water monster you control to the graveyard. Okay. You can only use the following effects of the Awakening of the Possessed Gigabyte once per turn. When this card is special summoned by this effect, you can send one random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard. Then each player draws one card. Okay. This card is sent from the field to the graveyard. You can add one spiritual water art or one possessed spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Those summoning conditions, man, are wild. I mean, I guess you can... No, I mean, yeah, it seems like you have to special summon this card just to get the effects. And obviously, yeah, dude, what? Sending one face-up spellcaster monster and one face-up level 4 lower water monster. It's so restrictive. This is a terrible card. Maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't sound right to me. Okay, this is another Awakening of the Possessed cards. Maybe it's easier than I think it is. I don't know. You can special summon this card from your hand or deck. Again, it's or deck. That's crazy. So it's like the deck is almost like completely possible to access at any time, which is crazy. But you have to have you have to send one face-up spellcaster monster, one face-up level 4 or lower wind monster you control to the graveyard. Is this Is this like Magistus or something? I'm so confused. Maybe it is. When this card is special summoned by its effect, you can return one card your opponent controls to the hand. That's pretty good. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add... Okay, so they all kind of replace each other. Wow, this condition must be easy. I mean, there must be an in-archetype way of doing that. It's so crazy. I wouldn't assume that they would just, like, leave you out to dry and, like, hopefully you figure out how to do that. In any case, this is Perfinacy. Okay. The Tactical Trapper. This is a Fiend Dark Monster. Okay. This card is normal. Special summon, you can banish one trap from your deck. Increase this card's level by 1. You can either target one trap in either player's graveyard, banish it, and if you do, increase this card's level by 1. Okay. If this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by a card effect, you can set one of your banished normal traps. Wow, that's so weird. I've never heard of this archetype. I don't know. Why would you do this? I mean, it's interesting, but what's the plan to special summon this? I guess Stygian Street Patrol? I think that would... Especially special summon a Fiend monster from your hand? Okay, interesting. Okay, we'll just move on from that. I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. That's okay. Magical Broker. This is a dark monster spellcaster. Okay. While you control a continuous spell or trap, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Alright. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can send one continuous face-up spell or trap card you control to the graveyard, draw one card. That's just not worth it. I don't know why you would ever use that, but okay. Gluttonous Reptalfin Greethies. How do they name these things? This is a water level 3 tuner. I think this is okay. I don't know. I kind of remember reading something about this card. You can target one fish, sea serpent, or aqua monster in your graveyard with an equal or lower level than the number of cards in your opponent's hand. Okay, special summon it, but it cannot activate its effects this turn, which is fine because you're just probably going to be tuning it with something. You can only use this effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can make the synchro monster that use this card to gain 200 attack and defense for each card currently in your opponent's hand. Again, that is so weird. I mean, this is a going first, although I guess, I mean, obviously you have level 5 going first, like, as your options, but assuming they, like, did their turn, maybe you're hoping for 3? I guess if you... I would have to play fish to really understand that. I guess I don't play them enough. That seems kind of strange, for sure. This is Cupid 4. Interesting, Cupid Sport. If all monsters you control are monsters with 600 attack, with 600 defense, which, yeah, I think all this Cupid stuff is, or all of 600 defense. You can special summon this card from your hand. Quick effect, you can discard one card, then target one light fairy monster you control, and one face-up monster on the field. The level of your monsters become the other level's monster. Okay, that's terrible. There's no need to discuss that. What is that? Okay, come on. This is Hizazumi Hanabi. Okay. This is a monster fire beast effect level 4. Okay. Cannot be used as material for fusion, synchro, exes, or link summoning. Okay, that's already, we're starting off on a pretty bad foot here. This card is no more special summon. Place 6 counters on it. Once per turn during your end phase, give control of this card to your opponent. Once per turn, if control this face-up card with counter changes, roll a 6-sided die, remove as many counters from this card as possible, up to the result. And if all this card's counters are removed by this effect, destroy this card. And if you do, take 2,000 defense. Wow. Okay. I don't think we need to just... I think we just leave that to what it is and just be happy that we get to play this game, I guess. I don't know. This is Penguin Brave. This is a penguin synchro monster. Interesting. Your opponent cannot target face-down defense position monsters you control with card effects, which is good. I guess is good because the penguin stuff is all flip effects. You can only use the effect of the following. Can only use each of the following effects of this card's name once per turn. This card is synchro summon. You can special summon one penguin monster from your deck, that's great. When your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can flip up one face-down defense position monster you control. So I don't know if there's a flip effect penguin that negates, but that would be great. I'm sure there's one that pops for sure. I think I for sure know that. Cool. I guess if you like penguins, I feel like it's gonna get a structure deck someday. I really do. It seems to have enough support somehow. Going back to Virtual World here, this is Virtual World Shell Jaja. Cool. This is the rank 3 exes for Virtual World. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card, then target one face-up monster you control. It cannot be destroyed by battle until your opponent's turn. Okay. The end of your opponent's turn, which I guess is okay. Once per turn after damage calculation, if this card battles an opponent's monster, while you have 2 or more monsters in your graveyard with the same original type and attribute as each other, okay, you can banish that opponent's monster. So the idea, I guess, is that you target yourself with 1,000 attack into something, don't get destroyed, but you do banish that monster. It's spot removal, but why does it have to be conditional? I don't think that's necessary. Let's let the effect stand. I think it's easy in Datascape though, so it's not that big of a deal. I guess they're just trying to restrict it to data escape, but really, that just seems so weak. It's probably a one of in the extra deck. That's what you need to replace it, really. This is the Link 3 for Tri-Brigade. Tri-Brigade Rugel the Silver Sheller. During your opponent's main phase, quick effect, you can special summon one level 4 lower beast, beast warrior, or winged beast monster from your hand or graveyard, but negate its effects. Also return it to the hand during the end phase. I don't know, why is that a quick effect? If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can make all monsters your opponent control lose 300 attack for each monster type you control until the end of this turn. I guess it's just an extender, so you go into the 4. The other effect is meaningless, so I guess that's probably a one of the Link Climb. This is a Link 2. Okay, interesting. Geonator Transverser. This card and the monsters it points to cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Alright. If this card points to 2 monsters, you can switch control of these monsters. Okay. So there's a top right and a top left, so why is this a Link? I mean, I guess it has to be a Link 2. Oof. Somehow I wish it was a Link 1, you know? I don't think you can do that because it's up to the material. All right. That's not, no one's going to use that. This is Dogmaticism. So, okay, obviously Dogmatic is support. It's an equip spell. If the equipped monster is a Dogmatica monster, it gains attack equal to its level times 100. If not, it loses 200 attack for each Dogmatica monster you control. This card is sent to the graveyard. Because the equipped monster is destroyed, you can send one monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. Yeah, we can move on from that. There's no Dogmatica player that would ever use that. At least in my opinion. This is Virtual World Qinglong. That's the continuous spell. You can banish one Virtual World card from your graveyard, then target one face-up monster on the field and negate its effects until the end of the turn. That's pretty good. It is targeting, but at the end of the day, it's pretty good. It can at least bait out and negate as well. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add one Virtual World monster from your deck to your hand, then send one card from your hand into the graveyard. That's good too. Obviously, it's one of the cards we'll be sending to the graveyard. It's pretty much a free search, and some of them have good graveyard effects. So it's not super, super negative. I think it's probably a 3 of in the deck. And we're still in commons here. This is Dual Avatar Defeating Evil. It's a quick play spell. Target one Dual Avatar monster you control and one card your opponent controls, destroy them. Then if the destroyed Dual Avatar Fusion monster you control by this effect, you can apply one of these effects. Draw one card, banish one card from your opponent's graveyard. I don't know anything about the Dual Avatar, and I'm guessing there's effects when your Dual Avatars are destroyed, so I guess that's fine. If not, that's awful. This is a normal spell, Infernity Paranoia. Target tribute one dark monster, special summon one Infernity monster from your deck or graveyard with the same level but a different name, but negate its effects. During your main phase, except for the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Then target one Infernity monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. I thought they were all fire. I'm guessing not. Raid Raptors have a card really similar to this. It just doesn't have that add to hand part. It's really just the first sentence, and I tried it out once and it wasn't good, so I'm going to go ahead and say that that's not useful, but I guess I could be wrong. This is UA Locker Room. This is a quick play spell. This card is always treated as an FA card, but yeah, because they combine the area types, obviously. You can target one UA, one or FA monster you control, or is in your graveyard, add it to your hand, and if you do, you gain 500 light points. Then you can apply this effect. That's useless. If you have any number of UA and or FA monsters in your hand, shuffle them to the deck, then draw cards equal to the number of shuffled cards. I would guess that would be really popular. It's like a reload, but I don't know. That's not fantastic. I mean, that just like proves how bricky your archetype is. Like you should fix that rather than try to put a band-aid over it. I don't know. This is a normal spell. Change into a dark world. Target one level 4 lower fiend monster in your graveyard. Special summon it, and then discard one fiend monster. You can activate one change into a dark world per turn. I'm guessing that's good because they like to discard. And special summoning, I'm sure, is good too. So I think that's fine if you're playing that. You know, you'd probably play 2, if not 3. This is a normal spell as well called Arcana Reading. Toss a coin, then apply the effect. If Light Barrier, okay, this is alright, is in your field zone, you can choose the effect instead. Heads, add one card from your deck to your hand that has a coin tossing effect. Tails, your opponent adds one card from their deck to their hand. What? That's... no. Okay, you can banish the card from your graveyard immediately after this effect. Normal summon one Arcana Force monster. Okay, wow. Your opponent's an Omni Search. Dude, the card you must add has to be insane. Like, it has to be an Exodia. Like, all 4 pieces of Exodia, or 5 pieces. That's so interesting. This is Rookie for Hire. Tribute one monster, special summon one for hire monster from your hand or deck whose level is 1 higher or 1 lower than a tributed monster on the field. You cannot declare attacks the turn you activate this effect, except with monsters for hire. Okay. You can only activate 1 rookie for hire per turn. I'm guessing that's good, assuming that for hires have effects in the graveyard. And I guess it doesn't restrict you from activating this effect, so I'm guessing that's good. Seems good. Let's see, we have XYZ Import. This is a quick play spell. Target one XYZ monster you control and one monster your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to. Attach that opponent's monster to your monster as material. Wow, that seems pretty good with attack less than or equal to this card. So I mean, it would have to be pretty big. Although 2,000, I mean, Needle Fire is less than 2,000. Obviously, Link Ross is like 0 attack, I think. That might be okay for sure. That might be okay. Yeah, it's quick play. I like that card. That would be a good one to kind of stash away. This is Jack in the Hand. This is a normal spell. Reveal 3 level 1 monsters with different names from your deck. Your opponent adds one of them to your hand. You add 1 to your hand. Yeah, you add 1 to your hand and you shuffle the third into the deck. Oh, add 1 to their hand, add 1 to your hand. Okay. And you shuffle the third into the deck. I mean, I guess there's no use in... Like, what is your opponent going to do with a level 3 monster, I'm guessing? Different names, yeah. I was going to say, if it's the same name, that's a free search for any level 3 monster, but... That's so silly. I'm guessing that's, that beast archetype that just came out. That's my guess. How interesting. Ooh, this is Raiders Unbreakable Mind. It's great that it's a... Oh no, this card is garbage. Well, it's okay. I mean, it sounds a little harsh. It's a continuous trap. It says, it's always treated as Fan and Raindrop card, which is cool. If you XYZ summon using XYZ monster you control as material, you can target 1 card in the field, destroy it. If this face-up card on the spell and trap zone is destroyed by card effect, you can set 1 rank-up magic spell directly from your deck or a graveyard. Unfortunately, it doesn't say you can activate this turn, like the Raid Raptor Link monster, but Y-Strix, I think it's called. The reason this isn't good is because if you see my videos, you really set up to rank up, and then you use Rusty Bardige to pop. And you kind of want to use it pretty early because you want to make sure you have Requiem on the field for those monster negates. So you'll never really need to pop 2. And if you do, it would be like turn 1. Then you obviously can't activate this turn 1. If that makes sense. So that's just my opinion on Raiders Unbreakable Mind. I would not play it in a Raid Raptors deck. This is a Tri-Brigade Revolt. This is a normal trap. Special summon any number of your Beast, Beast Warrior, and or Winged Beast monsters that are banished and or in your graveyard, but negates their effects. Then immediately after this effect resolves, link summon one Tri-Brigade Link monster using only those monsters. That's as long as there's a searcher. So I'm going to hold off on my opinion on that. I'm assuming one of the Tri-Brigade monsters like searches a spell or trap, which would be really good going first. Tri-Brigade Oath, another normal trap, interesting. Target one Link monster you control, special summon one Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster with a different type from your hand or graveyard. If you control at least one of each Beast, Beast Warrior, and or Winged Beast monsters, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Then target one face-up spell or trap your opponent controls, negate its effects. It's just too much. Like what? Come on, dude. What kind of card design is that? Moving on, we have Dual Avatar Return. Target one Dual Avatar monster in your graveyard. Special summon it. Then if its original level is 4 or lower, you can special summon one Dual Avatar Spirit token. Level 2 token with 0 attack and defense. You can only activate one Dual Avatar Return per turn. I have no idea what that does or why that would matter. I'm going to say that's bad for now until otherwise stated. This is another Dual Avatar trap, normal trap. During the main phase, banish one Dual Avatar spell or trap in your graveyard, except is a copy of this card. This card's effect becomes that spell or trap effect when this card is activated. That sounds really good. I mean, you basically just have multiple copies of traps, so assuming they're good, or I'll just say objectively it's good. I mean, if they ever get good ones in the future, I'm not saying they don't have good ones now, then that's a good card. This is Infernity Suppression. This is also a normal trap. If you have no cards in your hand, you can activate this card the turn it was set, which is the whole archetype. When your opponent activates a monster effect while you control an Infernity monster, negate the effect, then you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to the activating monster's level times 100. So the burning effect's not always great, but it's a free negate, and there's no cost or anything like that, which is good. And it can also be activated the turn it's set. So if let's say you have like one monster that's a combo starter and 4 traps, you set this card, and then if that effect obviously needs to go through and they try to activate something like Ash Blossom, this would be a good card to have. So that's pretty good for sure. This is UA Man of the Match. This is a normal trap. They're really pushing trap cards in this thing. Jeez. It's always treated as an FA card and UA card. After damage calculation, if a UA or FA monster destroyed an opponent's monster by battle, which is really the thing of the deck, to just kind of big battle, or when your UA monster or FA monster inflicts battle damage to your opponent, which is okay, that's good. It's not too conditional. Especially in any number of UA and or FA monsters with different names from your hand and or graveyard and defense position. Ooh, this has to be searchable in some effect. That sounds good. Ooh, wow. I mean, if that was a quick play spell, that would be really overpowered. It sounds pretty balanced. I'm going to go ahead and say that UA players would like that. This is a normal trap. Free range monsters during your main phase. Immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon one. Normal summon or set one monster. People were saying that goes really well with Sphere mode, but that's a little too, okay. That's really conditional. If you pull it off, you did it, dude. That's great, but I wouldn't bank on something like that. It seems silly. This is Banquet of Millions. This is normal trap. This was talked about quite a bit when it was announced. Banish any number of cards from your extra deck face down, then banish the same number of random face down cards from your opponent's extra deck face up until the end of the turn. You can only activate one Banquet of Million per turn. This is good, and it'll obviously just be used in the how can I not think of the name? The monster that gains attack equal to the banished card. So you can use it during your opponent's turn, and they basically have to pass their turn if they need access to their extra deck. it gains you attack, and there's that continuous spell that you gain life points equal to this banished card. So you're banishing a bunch. So you really have to weigh it down with Pot of Extravagances. So I mean, you really don't have to banish all of it. A lot of combo decks have like very delicate pieces like one of. So if you negate, or if you get rid of like 2 of them, there's no way they're going to combo off really. This is 1 or 8. This is a normal trap card. If your life points are lower than your opponent's, reveal the top card of your deck. And if it is a level 1 or 8, add it to your hand or special summon. Otherwise, your opponent can apply one of these effects. So, like, your life points become either 1,000 or 8,000. Oh, or they go to 8,000 life points. Why would you do this? Why is this card made? It must be for, like, lore or something. I don't know. I'm just going to go with that because it helped me sleep at night. This is Maha, the fairy dragon. This is a dragon tuner effect monster. During your opponent's turn, when either player takes battle damage, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then you can gain life points equal to that battle damage or inflict damage to your opponent equal to that battle damage. I mean, theoretically, this is like the OTK. If you inflict 4,000 damage, it's over. It's just, okay. I wouldn't play that. You need more proactive cards. This is Jabbing Panda, a water beast warrior effect level 3. If 2 or more beast warrior monsters are on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. Why is it called that? Because this is that archetype that just came out. I guess because I don't want it searchable. You can only special summon this card once per turn this way. If this card is sent to the field or to your graveyard, is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Oh, face-up card you control gains 500 attack. It's a free special summon, but the other effect is so useless. I guess we really need extenders in that deck, but I don't know if it does. I wouldn't play that otherwise. This is Perilis, Empress of Blossoms. This is a level 7 synchro. Gains 400 attack for each plant monster you control, except this card. During the main phase, you can special summon 1 level 5 or higher plant monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position. I don't think that's good. I wouldn't imagine. The attack thing is so niche and meh. Here's a mutant card. This is Mutant GB88. During your opponent's main phase, if Mutant Evolution Lab is in your field zone, I don't know what the field spell is just yet. Quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. So it should be a free. It's basically a free special summon for the most part. It's also level 4. If this card is special summoned during your opponent's turn, you contribute this card, then banish 1 card from your hand or face-up field. Special summon 1 level 8 mutant monster that is banished or in your graveyard. It is a free special summon, but yeah, that's cool. But it has to be banished on your graveyard. It does require a bit of setup, a little more than you might want. This is Mutant Fusion. Fusion summon 1 mutant monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials listed on it from your hand or field. I mean, that's normal polymerization. If your opponent has activated a card or effect this turn, you can use up to 1 monster from each your deck and graveyard as fusion material. That's good. So it's kind of like Shaddoll Fusion in a way. It's pretty simpler too. I mean, for Shaddoll, your opponent has to control a monster from the extra deck, so this is like way less conditional. It doesn't allow you to do 2, which is, I guess, kind of bad, but that'll see play in the deck without a doubt. I know the trap cards is like pretty good, but you really would like to fusion summon during your turn too. This is Mutant Blast. This is an equip spell. Equip only to a level 8 or higher mutant monster you control at the start of the damage step. If the equipped monster attacks an opponent's special summon monster, you can banish that opponent's monster. While this card is equipped to a monster, you can banish this card, send the monster this card was equipped to the graveyard, and if you do special summon 1 level 8 mutant monster with a different original attribute from your hand or deck. Banishing the monster is good, but I think they have high attack, so I feel like attacking isn't really what you want to do. And you can't special summon a different one. I'm not sure about that one, Chief. I don't know how I feel about that. But this is Mutant Clash. This is a continuous trap card. When you activate this card, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls, banish one mutant monster from your graveyard. It must be so easy to send these to the graveyard. I would have to imagine all of them depend on monsters being in the graveyard. And if you do, negate its effect until the end of this turn, even if this card leaves the field, which is cool. When you're level 8 or higher mutant monster, destroy an opponent monster by battle, you can draw one card. Well, that's okay. It is, you can do it every turn. And then you can shuffle back with the trap card. Yeah, I guess that would see play. That's decent form of interaction too. It's a trap card, so it can't be negated by monster effects. This is another continuous trap. This is Mutant Expansion. When you activate this card, you can take one level 4 lower mutant monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or special summon it. Okay, it is continuous. Let's see what the continuous effect is. If a level 8 or higher mutant monster you control would be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish this card from you control instead. Meh, I'm not vibing with that. That's too slow. It's not like its continuous effect is even good. And this is a secret rare, so this is the first secret rare. This is the Phantom Knights of Torn Scales. You can discard one card, send one Phantom Knights card from your deck to the graveyard. Well, that's really good. Except itself, if another Phantom Knights card is in your graveyard, it is banished. While this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect of the Phantom Knights of Torn Scales once per turn. That's a great play starter. Makes sense why it's rarity it is. That'll be a definite 3 of. That's a 1-card combo starter. This is Alpha the Master Beast. Oh, this will probably be the secret rare chase card, without a doubt. This cannot be normal summon or set. Must be special summon from your hand while the total attack of all monsters your opponent controls is more than all the monsters you control. So if your opponent controls one monster, obviously, it's a free special summon. You can target any number of beast warrior, and or winged beast monsters you control, return them to the hand. Then return face-up monsters. So it's not targeting. Return face-up monster your opponent controls to the hand equal to the number of cards you return to the hand. So it can just be itself. It can. So for breaking boards, you special summon it. You can destroy Herald of the Arclight, and then bait out the negate of like a Borreload. That's pretty good. And for the rest of the turn, Alpha, the Master Beast control, cannot attack directly. That's fine. It's really not that important. You can only use the effect of Alpha, the Master Beast once per turn. Wow. Yeah, I guess it makes sense as a secret rare. That's going to be a hard card to get. It's going to be a staple 3-of for a lot of people. That's interesting. Virtual World Kyubi Shinshin. So this is a secret rare. And any cards sent to the field to the graveyard is banished instead. That's a pretty decent effect, especially for Eldritch stuff. You can only use each of the following effects of Virtual World. This card once per turn. When your monster declares an attack, you return one banished monster to the owner's graveyard. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish 2 other monsters from your graveyard with different original types and attributes. Special summon this card. So for cursive, it's got 20 on an attack. And it has a pretty decent banish effect. It's decent stun type of card, depending on the archetype that you're playing. I can see that being a problem for a lot of people. And this is like the cover card, I think. Yeah, Arc Rebellion X Seas Dragon. I had to mess with it in Raid Raptors, obviously. It's kind of designed for it. Yeah, I don't know. Requiem is so much better. This XYZ summon card cannot be destroyed by card effects. Well, that's great. It has its own protection, right? And you're not going to get over it attack-wise for the most part. You can attach one material from this card. This card gains attack equal to the total original attack of all their monsters on the field. And if this card has Dark XYZ monster as material, negate the effects of all other face-up monsters on the field. After this effect resolves, you cannot declare attacks with other monsters for the rest of the turn. So this is like the blowout. You summon this card and your opponent has a big field, and you just take the attack and one-shot your opponent. I had tried using it, and I don't know. I guess I should give it another chance, because I do actually have one slot left. So I'm going to try. maybe to do that again, see if I can show it off on the channel at some point. And this is Divine Arsenal A Zeus. Well, this will be the other big chase card of the set. This is like a meta-defining card type of thing. So it's 2 level 12 monsters, 1 per turn. You can also XYC summon this card as long as you had 1 XYC monster attack. So anything. For Zodiacs, that's just 1 normal summon guarantees you this card. But quick effect, you can attach 2 materials from this card. Send all other cards from the field to the graveyard. It's not once per chain, not once per turn. And if another card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can attach 1 card from your hand deck or extra deck to this card's material. That's so stupid. But it isn't. I think there's a Starlight rare in this set, so that I guess it won't be the most rare card. But I can't imagine they're going to be handing this thing out like crazy. So interesting. This is Tri-Brigade, Shuriag, the Omnious Omen. Okay. This is the Link 4 Tri-Brigade monster. If this card is special summoned or another Beast Warrior or Winged Beast monster is special summoned to your field, you can banish 1 card on the field, non-targeting banishment. That's really good. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 Beast Warrior or Winged Beast monster from your deck to your hand whose level is less than or equal to the number of your banished Beast Warrior or Winged Beast monsters. Yeah, I mean, that's fine, for sure. I mean, yeah, the banishing effect, and it is only once per turn, but still, that's pretty good. This is Tri-Brigade Airborne Assault. This is a quick play spell. Target 1 Beast Warrior, Winged Beast monster you control. Special summon one card of the same type from your deck in defense position with a different type and with attack less than or equal to that monster, but its effects are negated. So it's a free special summon. And you can't, you can't go into your extra deck except for Link monsters for the rest of the turn. Oh, I don't know. You would have to really believe in Tri-Brigade to chase a card like that, because it looks like pre-sales are like $50, and that's not cool. Doesn't seem like a $50 card for sure. Dual Avatar Invitation. Discard 1 card, and if you do, special summon any number of Dual Avatar Spirit tokens as possible. Also, for the rest of the turn, you can special summon monsters from the extra deck, except fusion monsters, and all tokens you control cannot be attributed if all tokens you control cannot be attributed and are destroyed during the end phase. After summoning these tokens, you can apply 1 of the effects. Fusion summon from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field. So it's like it produces all the materials it needs for a fusion spell, or for a fusion like by itself, which is really unique. I don't think those cards do anything though. We'll have to see. This is Warning Points, a normal trap card. When a monster is special summoned this turn, that face-up monster cannot attack. Its effects are negated. Also, it cannot be used as material for fusion, synchro, exes, or link summon. It's a normal trap, so it can be trap tricks, which is good. It's just a normal trap. I mean, that's really what you have to deal with. It's a great going first card. It negates the effects and it stops you. Like, dude, you can do that for Needle Fiber. They can't go into Link Ross, which is the extender. That's a good trap. It will see play somewhere, in someone's side deck, knowing that they're going first. This is the Fusion Mutant monster. This is Ultimus. When a card or effect is activated, quick effect, you can banish 1 mutant card from your hand, graveyard, or face-up field of the same type. Negate the activation. If you do, banish this card. If this fusion summon card you control is destroyed by your opponent's card, so I guess by battle or card effect, which is good. I mean, your opponent definitely has to be conscious, and it's a 3,500 attack monster. You can add up to 3 of your banished mutant cards, 1 of each monster, spell, and trap to your hand. It's up to 1 each, so the conditions don't have to be there, which is good. You can only use each effect once per turn, so it's free negate for the most part. And this deck does use spells, traps, and monsters, so like the conditions really aren't hard to meet. Especially if you can do it from your graveyard. That's really good. Haita the Fire Charmer is the Starlight rare. It's just really what people are chasing. I mean, I get it, but this is the one that lets you target basically an Ash Blossom in your opponent's graveyard. And special summon helps you link climb. Wow, okay. And it lets you add Ash Blossom, I guess, if it's destroyed. Wow, okay. I guess that's fine. Oh no, Raid Raptor Strange Landing. This is a super rare. Yikes, 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 yikes. Okay. If you control a dark monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Also, you're not special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except dark monsters. If you control an XYZ monster with dark XYZ material as material, you can target one level 4 Raid Raptor monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but its effects are negated. Yeah, this is a good card. If your stuff gets negated and this is your link extender, it helps you go into Rusty Bardige and stuff. And it could be a free special summon. Oh, okay, looks like it's going for cheap. Only like pre-sale numbers are like $3, which is good. I really should be able to fill out this Raid Raptor deck very cheaply, which is great. This is Tri-Brigade Karis. You can discard one other beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster. Special summon this card from your hand. It's free special summon, which is cool. You can banish any number of beasts, Beast Warrior, and or Winged Beast monsters in your graveyard. Special summon one beast Link monster using with Link rating equal to the number banished. So it's just a discard effect that's good. And I think they trigger off discard. At least one of them does. Maybe the one that I'd already said. Which is cool synergy, I guess. I would hope that other ones do too, and you're not depending on that. You're not just going -1 for no reason. This is Virtual World Roshi. Lao Lao. If this card's in your hand, you can target a virtual card, send the opposite one. Then you can special summon one Virtual World monster from your graveyard in defense position with a different name than the card sent to the graveyard. Negate its effects. Cool. And it has also the same restriction. That's a good one. I would for sure use that card. I think you're going to run all of them at 3. Why would you not run 3 special summons in your hand? This is Dual Avatar Fists. So the Dual Avatar thing so far isn't impressing me too much at all. Mutants for sure impressed. You can target one Dual Avatar monster you control, destroy it, and if you do add one Dual Avatar spell from your deck to your hand. I think those tokens count as monsters, which is great. If a face-up Dual Avatar fusion monster you control that was fusion summoned using an effect monster material